The brief 4-day war between India and Pakistan, codenamed as Operation Sindoor by India, has become the hobby horse of the US President Donald Trump. Initially, he was projecting himself as the savior, and he claimed that it was he who acted as intermediary and brought about a ceasefire between the two countries which are nuclear armed. India vehemently denied that. And of late, Mr. Donald Trump again raked up the issue. He said both the countries together lost 5 fighter jets. He didn't specify as to how many jets each country lost. The intention is very clear from the latest statement. He wants the controversy or his rhetoric to continue. In the coming days, he may come up with new revelations. Because had he said about how many jets each country lost, that would have ended, the controversy. Now he wants to continue the controversy. This is why I'm sure he didn't mention it. Has he gone nuts? Absolutely not. There is a method in his madness. I'm sure that his propaganda wing or PR agency has changed. Trump probably has got a new PR agency, and this is a new, propaganda war being unleashed by him with very specific goals. You need to remember that Mr. Donald Trump doesn't speak about Iran US war. I think he wants to divert the attention of the world from the loss of face of the US in Iran. That could be one reason. Maybe he wants to pressurize India as India US trade talks are progressing. So he wants the US to get some leverage. That could be another reason. He may be afraid that Pakistan is moving very close towards China. Pakistan used to be the closest friend of the United States in South Asia, and he doesn't want Pakistan to become the minion of China. That could be another reason. Again, he wants India to move away from Russia, and that could be another reason. He wants to, become the friend of both India and Pakistan and maintain his influence in the region so that he can take on China. So there may be many reasons for that. Let's analyze each of these reasons. Welcome to Insights. I am Hari Kumar. As I said, US has lost their face in Iran. US unilaterally declared ceasefire. After the bombing campaign, earlier US had warned Iran that they would stop nothing short of a regime change in Iran. But US unilaterally withdrew. Khamenei is still the most influential leader in Iran. US says nothing about it. So US just doesn't want the world to speak about that. It doesn't want the media to discuss that. That could be the reason. That is number one. The second reason could be the US is really afraid that Pakistan has become a minion of China, and US has lost their closest ally in South Asia. That is something they cannot forget. Perhaps that could be the reason why the US president invited Pakistan army chief for a dinner. The no US president had done that in the past. Has any US president invited Chinese army chief for a dinner? Has any US president invited French army chief for a lunch? Has any US president invited a British army chief for a lunch? Absolutely not. I could understand if Mr. Donald Trump invited Pakistan Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif for a dinner. That was understandable. So one can understand the desperation of the US president. That is why he invited or he threw a party for Pakistan army chief. So definitely that could be one reason why he wanted to reassure Pakistan that the US remains the best friend of Pakistan, and the US doesn't consider India as a close ally. That could be one reason why Donald Trump is repeating his observations on India-Pakistan war, and the US president knows very well that India will be hurt by his statements. That is why, despite India debunking his claims, he keeps on repeating that. So that is one reason. The second reason, as I said, is probably he wants to pressurize India to come to agreeable terms while finalizing the trade deal. At present, trade talks are going on between India and the US. So, and even Donald Trump has mentioned a few words in this context also. This could be another reason. The third aspect, as I said, he doesn't want India to move very close towards Russia. He doesn't want India to revive the old level of friendship. So he tries to browbeat India, threaten India through words. He wants to remind India that I am going to irritate him, irritate you people. So if you don't want to get irritated, you stop getting closer to Russia. That could be another reason. Anyway, I think Trump has got ulterior motives. As I said, his new PR, he has definitely got a new PR agency. Trump in his second avatar is definitely not the guy who he was during his first term. In the second innings, he is irritating everybody. He doesn't have any friend. There is a saying in English that kingship knows no kinship. This is absolutely right at present regarding Donald Trump. He belittles each and everyone. When Ukrainian president visited United States, he insulted him. He said that it is just because we are giving you funds and weapons, you are surviving. Otherwise, Russia would take over your country in a week. He was the Ukrainian president was publicly embarrassed. So he is doing that with each and everyone. Even in the domestic politics, Donald Trump is following the same tactics. Look the way at which he humiliated Elon Musk, and Elon Musk resigned. He was forced to resign. He even threatened Elon Musk that he would cancel the citizenship of Elon Musk. So Trump in his second innings is a bit different. He is more aggressive. He wants the whole world to consider him as a master. I think this is his pressure tactics. But I don't think India is going to yield to his pressure tactics. India is not a small country or a small economy like Pakistan. Of course, he could pressurize Pakistan, browbeat Pakistan, and even many European nations. But India is with 145 crore population, with a big economy, which is, I think it is fourth largest in the world by GDP terms at present, and could be even much more stronger. So the problem is Trump has embarked on a wrong policy. Now he cannot all on a sudden withdraw from that. I think this is something like, a slippery slope. He is going to fall into more problems. Anyway, let us see how he is going to face this, how he is going to handle all those problem consequences or collateral damages that are arising from his political stand. Meet you with updates. Till then, goodbye.